Reverend Kililo. Good afternoon, Regional BFD Director, Reverend Berkeley, and all leaders here, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. Am I audible for everyone? Thank you. We will start with our program. I don't know if that is okay with everyone, or should we wait for a few minutes so that other blessed families can join us?
We can start, huh? It's time.
We can start. Okay. Thank you. I will share my screen so that we can see the program for today.
Please let me share it.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you. Are you able to share it?
Yovo?
Are you able to see the screen? Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I will be your MC for today. My name is Kanti Mailula, and I'm the Sub-Regional Director of the Southern region of our region. And thank you for the time allotted here. We will start our service promptly, and we will start first with offering our Heavenly Parent and True Parents a half bar. Can we share the picture of the True Parents so that we can Chonjo Join Champo Munioge Chombe Paro. We will now recite the family pledge from pledge number 1 to number 8. 1. Our family, the owner of Chinelgo, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation, by centering on true love. 8. Our family, the owner of Chinelgo, pledges, having entered the era of Chinelgo, to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. Opening prayer. By BFD, I think I will pray the opening prayer. Let's join in prayer. Let's pray. Our dearest, most beloved Heavenly Parent, cosmic parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind, we come before you, Heavenly Parent, this afternoon, asking, Heavenly Parent, that you open up our hearts, that you open up our minds to receive, Heavenly Parent, direction that will help align us, Heavenly Parent, with the direction of the true parents, with true mother leading the providence in the era after the coming of heaven, Heavenly Parent. We ask, Heavenly Parent, that you help us, Heavenly Parent, as blessed families, to attune our senses, our frequencies, so that we can receive, Heavenly Parent, the instructions that come, Heavenly Parent, from you, from your heart, through the true parents, through Mother, Heavenly Parent, at this time, transmitted to us today, Heavenly Parent, by Reverend Kililo, who you have chosen, Heavenly Parent, to speak with us, Heavenly Parent, on your behalf, as to what it is you expect from us, Heavenly Parent, as Central Blessed Families. We ask, Heavenly Parent, that the foundation laid, Heavenly Parent, by the past brothers and sisters, the foundation laid, Heavenly Parent, by the true parents, to stand afoot, that all of us can build upon that foundation that has been established, that we can build, Heavenly Parent, the heavenly kingdom, heavenly Africa, and the heavenly world during the time stipulated, Heavenly Parent, by the true parents. We ask, Heavenly Parent, that you help us to embody you in our lives as blessed families, and to transmit and to spread your message, Heavenly Parent, across all the four corners, Heavenly Parent, of our continent, of our countries, and of the world. We ask that you lead us, Heavenly Parent, in all that we'll be receiving today, and that you use, Heavenly Parent, your child, Reverend Kililo, to speak to us today. We thank you for this wonderful time that you've set for us to receive your direction at this time. Thanking you, Heavenly Parent, for this time with the deepest of humility and gratitude, offering all this in my name and the Maila family, a Central Blessed Family, are true. Thank you. We will now move to the next item on our agenda today, which is the Hundike, the witnessing, and me, Reverend Samuel Moon's words on witnessing. I think this will be given by Reverend Kililo, or is it me who's supposed to read?
No, sorry. The Ondoke is not for the lecturer.
Oh, it's me.
Kililo is the main lecturer today.
Okay.
Yeah. Please find another person to read the Ondoke.
Okay. Can we have one of the BFD directors do the Hunduke reading for us?
S'il vous plaît, quelqu'un peut-il lire le Ondoke? Il y en a en français, il y en a en anglais.
I can read.
Thank you, Mr. Motiwa. You can go ahead.
Why do we witness? We bear witness to find spiritual children and guide them toward salvation. Okay, you can hear me? You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I start. Why do we witness? We bear witness to find spiritual children and guide them toward salvation. The motivation for witnessing is also our desire to know God better. God created the universe and human beings through the word, giving life. Sorry. Okay. Giving life by teaching the truth is the noblest spiritual activity. This is important for the second generation. The blessed children did not have to seek the Lord of the second coming, nor did they have to leave the fallen world to know God's providence. They did not choose this destiny, but were born into it. The risk is to be satisfied with this blessing or not to realize its full value. Witnessing, guiding people toward the new birth enables the second generation to feel more like owners and not just heirs to a privileged status. Knowing God's heart, when you testify, you should feel that you are looking for your lost children. And when you find them, you must serve them. But with a heart, it is God who has sought us out. Let's look for people with a parental heart. That way, you can experience the Father's heart. Your spiritual children will not always be obedient or kind at first. They will be rebellious. Then you will know what the Heavenly Father has been through. You will quickly pay for it by educating and loving the person who is not lovable. This how God lets you know the Father's heart. When you are in the grip of bitterness or sadness with your spiritual children, always think of God who has suffered for more than you. 1st March 1965. Paying our debt to God. You can think of this person as your deliverer, because without him, you have no way of paying your debt to God and the Messiah. I owe debt to heaven on an individual level, family level, national level, and universal level. But I'm going to pay that debt to God by serving this person. The person is so dear to you. The family and everyone else is so dear to you, because without the whole family, nation, clan, and universe, you have no way of paying your debt to God. Looking at it this way, witnessing to others is your way of paying your debt. Aju.
Aju.
Mr. Mailula, open your mic. Open your mic.
Le petit garçon s'habilla pour le froid, puis dit à son père, « Ok, papa, je suis prêt, son père. » Le pasteur a dit, « Prêt pour quoi, papa? Il est temps de sortir et de distribuer nos clients. » Papa a répondu, « Fils, il fait très froid dehors et il pleut. » L'enfant a regardé son père surpris et a dit, « Mais papa, les gens ont besoin de connaître Dieu même les jours de pluie. » Papa a répondu, « Fils, je ne sors pas par ce temps. » Désespéré, l'enfant dit, « Papa, je peux y aller seul, s'il te plaît. » Son père attendit un moment puis dit, « Fils, tu peux y aller. Voici les dépliants. Sois prudent. Merci papa. » Et avec cela, le fils est sorti sous la pluie. Le garçon de 11 ans a parcouru toutes les rues du village, distribuant des tracts aux personnes qu'il a vues. Après 2 heures de marche sous la pluie, au froid et avec son dernier flyer à la main, il s'est arrêté dans un coin pour voir s'il voyait quelqu'un à qui donner le flyer, mais les rues étaient totalement désertes. Puis il se tourna vers la première maison qu'il vit, se dirigea vers la porte d'entrée, sonna plusieurs fois et attendit, mais personne ne sortit. Finalement, le garçon se tourna pour partir. Mais quelque chose l'arrêta. L'enfant se retourna vers la porte et se mit à sonner et à marteler fortement la porte avec ses jointures. Il a continué à attendre. Enfin, la porte s'ouvrit doucement.
Reverend Bogre,
Il sortit avec un air très
there's
triste
something
et
coming
demanda
out from
doucement,
your...
« Que puis-je faire pour toi, fils ?»
Yeah.
Avec des yeux radieux et un sourire éclatant, l'enfant dit, « Madame, je suis désolé si je vous ai contrarié, mais je veux juste vous dire que Dieu vous aime vraiment et que je suis venu vous donner mon dernier dépliant, qui parle de Dieu et de son grand amour. » Le garçon lui a alors donné le dépliant. Elle a juste dit, « Merci mon fils, que Dieu te bénisse. » Eh bien, le dimanche matin suivant, le pasteur était en chair et quand le service a commencé, il a demandé, « Est-ce que quelqu'un a un témoignage ou quelque chose qu'il veut partager ?» Doucement, au dernier rang de l'église, une vieille dame se leva. Quand elle a commencé à parler, un regard radieux et glorieux a jailli de ses yeux. Personne dans cette église ne me connaît. Je n'y suis jamais allé, même dimanche dernier, je n'étais pas chrétien. Mon mari est décédé il y a quelque temps, me laissant totalement seul au monde. Dimanche dernier a été une journée particulièrement froide.
Thank you. Sorry for that technical glitch. We will now move to the opening remarks, which will be given by our regional president, Reverend Kadima. If he's not here, in his absence, Reverend Bechri will do the opening remarks for us. Then let us welcome him with a warm round of applause.
Okay, thank you. Bonjour à tout le monde. Bonjour à notre conférencier révérend Kililo. Bonjour à tous les directeurs BFD qui sont là, à tous les leaders nationaux et aux familles bénies centrales. Soyez la bienvenue. Il y a eu un petit quiproquo, le MC n'était pas informé. Le programme n'a pas reçu le dernier programme, malheureusement. Donc, c'est pourquoi il n'était pas un peu sur la même longueur d'onde. En fait, c'est une vidéo qui parle de témoignages. Et donc, comme c'est déjà passé, on va passer la parole à un de nos frères, Jacques Ntabarusha. Voilà, ce sont des petites vidéos parfois qui passent sur le net. Et cette vidéo-là parle de témoignages. Et donc, comme c'est lui qui a posté ça, il va faire juste un petit résumé en 3 minutes. Et puis, nous allons continuer. Jacques, s'il est là, voilà. You have the floor. Evo, tu peux ouvrir son micro?
Son micro est ouvert.
On ne t'entend pas, hein, Jacques?
On peut m'attendre, s'il vous plaît?
Ouais.
Merci beaucoup. Bonjour à notre président régional. Bonjour à notre directeur régional du département de famille bénie. Bonjour à notre directeur département de témoignage et éducation. Bonjour à tous les aînés ici présents. Bonjour à tous nos frères et sœurs, membres, frères et sœurs de seconde génération. Pour ces paroles m'accorder de manière brève, cette vidéo, si vous la suivez très bien, elle est très instructive. Pour ceux qui n'écoutent pas le français, je crois qu'il serait mieux de le traduire pour qu'ils comprennent et je vais résumer en quelque sorte. Vous savez, parfois, nous ramassons certaines vidéos sur le net, mais parfois nous les apprenons sans comprendre l'importance. Cette vidéo parle du témoignage. Et nous avons beaucoup de leçons à tirer de cette vidéo. C'est-à-dire, le père qui était pasteur ne voulait pas sortir, mais l'enfant voulait à tout prix sortir malgré les temps qui n'étaient pas bons pour aller témoigner. Et l'enfant partit témoigner. Malgré les temps durs, la pluie et les mauvais temps, l'enfant est tombé sur une famille où la pensée était très fermée. Il a insisté et c'est après que la personne a ouvert, après beaucoup d'insistance, l'enfant voulait déposer les flyers ou les déplier des témoignages. Alors, cet enfant, quand la personne sort après beaucoup de temps, et c'était vraiment, je vous dirais, comme un ange qui avait envoyé l'enfant. Et qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? La femme était sur le point de se suicider. Pendant qu'il mettait la corde sur le cou de se tuer, et c'est là que l'enfant toquait pour venir simplement donner son papier de témoignage, les flyers, comme on dit. Et la femme ouvre la porte, voit les jeunes, et les jeunes nous disent « Dieu t'aime », tout simplement. Et la femme est restée en train de lire, et il a laissé tout ce qu'il voulait faire, et ne s'est plus tué à cause de cette visite. Et quand il a compris que Dieu l'aime à travers le message, en tout cas, c'était une nouvelle vie qui a commencé avec la femme qui n'avait jamais prié, qui avait perdu son mari, qui était isolée totalement. C'était une visite de Dieu qui était venue chez la femme. Et voilà que la femme était venue témoigner à l'église le dimanche prochain. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Je résume par là. C'est-à-dire, quand nous sortons témoigner, nous devons comprendre que ce n'est pas nous qui allons, mais c'est une mission qu'on nous donne, que les cieux nous donnent. On ne sait peut-être pas la personne qu'on va rencontrer. On ne sait pas même les problèmes que la personne a. Mais lorsque nous accomplissons notre tâche, en parlant à la personne de ce que nous avons comme idéal, en lui parlant des vrais parents, en lui parlant d'elle, de la famille, en lui parlant surtout de notre monde d'aujourd'hui, peut-être la personne serait sur le point ou de se suicider ou de pouvoir peut-être se donner, je ne sais pas, un autre sort. Et c'est comme ça que la personne peut changer. D'où, lorsque nous allons témoigner, ne cherchons pas à pouvoir cibler l'endroit où partir ou n'importe quand, ou le moment d'y aller. Quand l'Esprit nous dit d'aller témoigner, nous devons aller parce que nous ne savons pas la personne que Dieu prépare pour ce moment. Donc, il y a beaucoup d'âmes qui nous attendent de l'extérieur. C'est par cette force qu'il faut avoir d'aller vers eux, en leur parlant un seul mot de vrais parents. Ces personnes peuvent changer et une vie peut commencer dans leur vie de foi. Peut-être, ce sera peut-être le moyen de découvrir que la famille a son importance dans la société. Ça peut être le moyen de découvrir que le Messie est sur la terre. Ça peut être le moyen de découvrir qu'il y a la fille unique de Dieu. Ça peut être le moyen de dire à la personne que le royaume de Dieu a commencé sur la terre. Donc voilà, chers frères et sœurs, cette vidéo était instructive. Nous devons la suivre et c'est une grande leçon à tirer. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup, Jacques, pour vraiment ce commentaire après la vidéo. Donc, merci beaucoup encore pour cette vidéo que nous avons pu partager. Sachez simplement que le président régional n'est pas présent parce qu'il est en voyage en Angola. Dans le cadre aussi du témoignage, il y a la mission à Sao Tomé qui nous attend. Et donc, il est allé en Angola. Donc, en ce qui concerne la soirée d'aujourd'hui, nous allons parler de comment témoigner. Je ne dis pas, notre mère nous dit chaque fois, allez témoigner, allez témoigner, allez témoigner. Et elle ne cesse de répéter ça à chaque fois. Mais parfois, beaucoup de familles bénies centrales ne savent pas comment témoigner. D'autres, tout simplement, ils invitent à un séminaire. Donc, ici, nous avons le responsable de l'éducation et du témoignage qui est là. Qui d'autre mieux que lui, le révérend Kililo, pour nous dire comment est-ce que nous pouvons témoigner. Comment témoigner un individu, comment témoigner un groupe de personnes, peut-être comment témoigner même un pasteur, une église. Donc, le révérend Kililo va nous entretenir ce soir, soyons attentifs. Et après lui, nous aurons aussi l'intervention d'une famille qui aussi a des expériences dans le domaine du témoignage, la famille Baou, et qui témoigne très souvent des pasteurs, qui témoigne très souvent des individus facilement. Et donc, lui aussi va nous partager à quelques instants son expérience sur le témoignage. En tout cas, merci beaucoup et soyez les bienvenus. Prenons note pour que vraiment, après cela, nous puissions vraiment être aguerris avec les âmes que nous aurons eues ce soir. Nous puissions vraiment témoigner, témoigner et témoigner. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Reverend Beckley, for the opening remarks. We will now move to the next session for today, which is the main session for today for Blessed Families, which is witnessing direction that will be given by our regional witnessing director, Reverend Kililo. Let us give him a warm round of applause and welcome him to give us education for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Please allow me to share the screen. Good evening, our dear brothers and sisters. Good evening to our regional president in absentia, to our BFD director, Reverend Bogre, to our national leaders who are present, and all brothers and sisters. Thank you very much for joining in to discuss on matters concerning witnessing. Thank you so much, Mailula, for a very wonderful prayer, and also for Eric Mutewa for the intervention. We are truly grateful. Well, the discussion today is on how to witness. I know it's very easy and more people are more talking about why we should witness, but today we take a diversion and actually talk more about, how to witness. So I'm referring quite closely to the presentations that our true mother gave recently. And I would summarize it and say, she said, witness in spirit and in truth. So that basically is the main point here. We have this witness in spirit and in truth quoted in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, and now in the Chonulguk era. So that's a really profound, maybe answer to what we're talking about. So this is what True Mother said in the speech that she gave to us in May. And she said clearly that results are important, that she said. At this point, we must move based on a two-way system. I once told all to advance centering on spirit and truth. However, we have been stagnant. She said that that time there was not so much hope. There is no spiritual revival. This is why we must emphasize prayers, services at the Chonshim 1 hall. We have to feel this by ourselves and directly experience living a heavenly lifestyle. This is where love, becomes important. I want to emphasize the same and explain clearly that the Chonshim 1 is a very, very special instrument. It's a very special area that we have been given by our true parents. This serves very well for self-witnessing, because you cannot begin to witness to others if yourself you have not really been fully witnessed. If you don't feel it, if it is not in your spirit, then it will be very difficult to do it. In the book of John 4:23, that's where the Bible says, but the hour is coming and now is when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father is seeking such a worship him. God is a spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. So in reality, we ourselves really need to reached the level whereby we cannot but witness. We must feel it ourselves. It must be in us. So if you feel like you really don't have the energy, or you can't push yourself to witness, what you need to do is really attend the Chonshimon. This is something special. There is something special, and that's my testimony, that this is special. It is not like any other prayer room, no. When True Mother was establishing the Chonshimon, she gave a lot of energy to it. You only need to go there. You only need to attend the vigils. And then you begin to realize that there is something special in the Chonshimon that will give you that power you need. In the Chonshimon, as they say, this is the office of the True Father. This is the office of all the True Family Spirit. In the Chonshimon, you will meet with them. Your prayers will be heard for sure. And what you asked for will be given unto you. Also, in the divine principle, in the exposition of the divine principle, that is page 121, 22 in the English version, it says, in order for us to have proper faith, it is necessary first to have a direct communion with God through spiritual experiences in prayer, and then to understand the truth through a correct reading of Scripture. This is the reason Jesus told us to worship in spirit and truth. So we need both. We need both the truth, the understanding, the very wonderful understanding of principle that will enable us to educate others, but also we need the spirit, the power, the spiritual power. We need the support of the spiritual world, because witnessing is also like spiritual warfare. It is not something you can do without spirit. You need the spirit. So we need to first build ourselves, by connecting with the Chonshimon. I have had many, many experiences since we had this Chonshimon. And even the results we have now is definitely not our own results. Without the Chonshimon, we could not have done it. So this way that True Mother told us to go, in spirit and truth, we find that here the Old, New, and Completed Testament agree. The true worship of God is essentially internal, a matter of heart, spirit-rooted in the knowledge and obedience to the revealed word of God. So in other words, our foundation has to be built in spirit. That's the foundation. That's the beginning. That's the beginning when we want to go witnessing. We cannot just do it because somebody said. No, we need to build our energy. We need to build ourselves so that we can go. So if you find yourself in a position whereby you don't know what to do, this is the first step. Attend Chonshimon. Attend the vigils as often as you can. And if you have time, another times, go there. Give yourself. Discuss it with true parents. Discuss it with Yojenim. Discuss it with Hunjenim or Temonim. In this way, you will find energy so that you can be able to do it yourself. So in a sense, I'm saying the way to witness is through, first of all, the spirit. So connect with the spirit of the true family through that witnessing, and then you will find that you have enough energy. This is the greatest weapon of witnessing. Connect, connect with the spirit of true family. In the Chonshimon, that's where the spirit of the true family resides. So if you want to have some discussion with Yojenim, go there. If you want some discussion with Yojenim, go there. If you want some discussion with True Father, go there. And you try. You try it. If you have not had a chance, try it and see what happens. So get the deepest inspiration and understanding of the current providence yourself. In the Chonshimon, even if you read the normal divine principle, you will understand it in a depth that has never been there before. This is my experience. Whenever we're discussing the divine principle, we get a deeper aspect of it. Something just happens that we understand it a lot better than if you do it somewhere else. Of course, through the understanding, you will find yourself in a repentful mode, because you'll understand a new insight. Then you need to repent and then be grateful, aligning and witnessing to yourself in the office of true parents. The Chonshimon is the office of the true parents. So when you go to the Chonshimon, it's like that's where true parents will always be. So we have the privilege of being invited to attend the true parents. And when you attend the true parents in the Chonshimon, for sure, something will change. Call by name the high spirits you want to get help from, and by name those you wish to mobilize, and then you'll see it will happen. This is my testimony. It will happen. We went there and prayed in the Chonshimon. And one of my very great concern was how to actually get the revival of my 43 couples, my HTM 43, and how to bring the inspiration to the other 430 who I gave blessing before. And what happens? Suddenly I receive a call from one of my 43. He says, look, I'm supposed to give a lecture somewhere, Bishop, but please help me. I think you can do it better than me. That is my one of my 43. And then I go to that meeting and I find it's a huge meeting with many pastors. So I gave them just introduction, explaining through family as a school of love, which has combined chapter 1, chapter 2, and also something on the restoration, the way forward, but concern the family. So matters concerning morality and such things. Now, after that seminar, all of them agreed, no, we need to have another seminar for ourselves and also our children. Through that kind of a thing that did not even start from me. I was invited by one of my 43, just as I was praying for 43 to be revived. So through that one, I was able to have 12 spiritual children go through the 21-day workshop in January, the beginning last year and into January. 12 spiritual children at once. I never did it before. This was my first experience. 12 spiritual children in one workshop, 21-day workshop. This definitely did not come from me. I can attest that this is through the power of the Chonshimon. So please attend the prayer vigils, local and international. And then when you get your inspiration in the Chonshimon, follow your inspiration thereafter and see what will happen. From there, I can tell you, Vision 2025 is doable. It can be done. It only requires us to do something. Just go to the Chonshimon, attend the Chonshimon, and you'll see. So I took a little bit of through, through the give and take we have. We have a lot of give and take with people. Every day we are talking to somebody. Every day we are exchanging with somebody. But what is the center of that give and take? So witnessing is give and take with somebody. But what is the center of that give and take? If you're having a lot of give and take, and yet you cannot really bring the people to receive the divine principle or to for the workshop, then maybe the center of the give and take is not correct. Because if you are having give and center on God and His will to form God, you can begin to have people coming in. You can invite them to seminars and workshops or partnership. So we move actually in spirit and in truth. Now, for the content, how to do it, it doesn't have to be one particular content according to your situation, because there is various ways of reaching out. The truth is in its various formations. There is a divine principle, of course. There is a character education. There is internal guidance. There is Holy Scriptures. There are various ways. There is also family values. Through this, you can reach out to people because all these are based on the principle. And if you are giving it, somebody will be touched. If you have been preparing yourself spiritually also, somebody will be touched. And when they are touched, then you can invite them for more expose. You can invite them now for a 2-day workshop, full 2-day workshop. Then they can go for 7 days, 21 days, and 40 days. So the education pipeline is already established everywhere. There's a 2-day workshop, 7-day workshop, 21, 40 days training workshops for participants to know and attend Heavenly Parents and True Parents. So when they enter into that pipeline, the end point is to know and attend Heavenly Parents and True Parents. That means becoming members and receiving blessing, increasing witnessing power, accelerating the fulfillment of Heavenly Parents' dream. True Parents has the dream of the kingdom of heaven. And this dream has not been fulfilled for the last 6,000 biblical years. But we can accelerate it through witnessing by just give and take, but just discussing with your brothers and sisters, discussing with the people you know. And in that way we move forward and we can be able to actually cause the results to happen. So the way you're witnessing, therefore, is not necessarily in one way. There There are several ways. And I have some quotations here you can see. We must liberate God. This is coming from the Chonsong Gyong, and and it is explaining that witnessing is actually like going out. Explaining that the mission of the Messiah is to complete the providence of restoration for the sake of returning to the original world of God's will. So we do it through every situation. We do it through every situation. The Lord of Second Advent comes to complete the foundation of God's providence of restoration that Jesus left. So in other words, we now who are working and part of the Lord of Second Coming, specifically, he comes to perfect the ideal of true parents who are the origin of God's true love, true life, and true lineage. Thus, he is the original seed for completing the ideal of creation. He comes upon the victorious foundation of the fundamental providence on God's side that had been completed up to the time of Jesus. This means that he comes directly upon the foundation of victorious that Jesus established in his life up through the time of his maturity. Then, now that's where we come in. Then he fulfills the task that Jesus left to be accomplished later. These are to find his bride, to become true parents, and save all humankind. So in other words, when we talk to all humankind, we are guiding them in that direction. We are guiding them so that we can, so that we can be able to really bring the purpose of the Messiah as we give it. The purpose of the Messiah is not accomplished just by the Messiah alone. In fact, we are there to work together with the Messiah to shatter Satan's sovereignty and bring humankind back to God. So that means what we are doing is whoever we come across is actually material for our witnessing. We talk to them, we express with them, and as we do so, we are making that foundation and overcoming it. So in other words, really witnessing, we do witnessing by just that discussion we have, the give and take we have with those we have. So I go to the next one. Something happened to my computer, but it is no problem. Maybe it's my internet. So in a summary, what we are saying is we can use the foundations of HTM, the 43 couples or 430 couples, because if we did our HTM, and most of us, there are many people who did 430, but even those who did not do 430, for example, they did 12. That is a good foundation enough, because those people received the blessing and education. They will have little or no difficulties to give their children. In other words, in this special time when we are witnessing to young people, approach those people who receive the blessing, approach the couples that you gave the blessing to. And if you educated them, it means they know why they received the blessing, and they would want their children to receive the same. So on that foundation, you can actually have them give you their children. In this time when I was talking to my HTMs, several of them offered their children, not only their direct children, but I've had several seminars now with the youth of various churches. That means one particular church invites you to educate their youth, because our education is universal. The divine principle is universal, especially if you explain it clearly. You'll find out it does not contradict any church. It does not contradict any religion. So in other words, even if the pastors and their children are sitting there, they will all appreciate. There is no way that they will not appreciate the divine principle when it is given properly. So in other words, have no fear. What we have is the best. We can use all other associates also to bring results. When you use group leaders, more results will accrue. For example, one of my pastors also, he has an association of other religious groups. And he invited me to his meeting. I went to that meeting, and after making a small presentation, they incorporated me in that group. So I'm now one of the officials of that group, a group which has several churches. So in that sense, we will be able to, as we have give and take with other people, we will get stronger and stronger, and we will have more and more contacts who appreciate what we give. So we can use our strong point. That is, we are unmatched with the truth. With the divine principle, you have something formidable. Nobody, not professors, not any kind of doctor, not any kind of religious person can actually stand against divine principle when explained properly. They don't have any better truth than that one. Nobody has anything better. So just be there and give it the way you know it, and you begin to see things happening. So connect with the interdenominational religious foundations and multiply the results. You know, our workshops now are more like kind of interdenominational. We are not getting people from one religion. No, we're getting people from all religions. And then when we educate them, I have had several, even from the beginning of this year, I had several workshops with pastors and bishops. And you'll realize within a very short time, even they will realize within a short time that actually you have something that they need. So they begin to invite you now. So instead of you now going to look for them, they will begin to look for you. From the last time we've been going to the Chonshimon, interesting things are happening because we're receiving invitations from groups and churches. And what are they saying? Please come and educate our pastors, or please come and educate our youth. Now, this kind of thing will bring incredible results because what is going to happen now is that we actually are not going out to the street to look for people, but we're using the foundation we have. And that foundation is multiplying by itself as long as we give the proper presentations, and then we are taking time also in the Chonshimon to make the necessary spiritual foundation. And when we have those contacts, those pastors, those bishops that you are witness to, they have received our presentation. Now write their names down. And when you go to the Chonshimon, mention them, call them, invite the Holy Spirit to work with them directly by mentioning their name. Also, most of our members, brothers and sisters, we have liberated ancestors and also collaterals. Ask them to be engaged. If you don't call them, they may not do much because they need a condition so that they begin to work. So when we mention their names, write them down, mention their names, then you'll find interesting things, because before you know what's going on, some of those people that you're praying about will begin to invite you themselves. So you will not need to actually look for them. They will look for you. So this is what happens when you are attending the Chonshimon and doing your best. So the spirit aspect and the truth will work together in the sense that you are communing. It's like in the Chonshimon, we have the association of the physical world and the spiritual world. And that really becomes really something extremely dynamic. You know, I think when True Mother gave to us and she said, you better find out yourself, it means there is something special. There is something special in the Chonshimon that we can take advantage of, you know. So take advantage of the moral. Also, we can take advantage of the moral decay of the society and propose a principal solution. When we talk about family values, that is a principal solution on matters concerning family breakdown. So when we propose that to society, you may receive support from government authorities. I did one of the seminars in my village, actually. The village elder had me explain about this thing. I said, hey, you know, we have a big problem here. So why don't you come? And they invited me in my village and also to the youth. This is not something I was expecting in the normal circumstances. But I can say this is coming now. We have a very special situation. When True Mother gave us this Vision 2025, it's quite clear. By connecting with the Chonshimon, you know, by connecting with the Chonshimon, everything works. And the True Mother said recently that our life, actually it was last Sunday, Global News, the news we have, and she said our life should be centering on the providence. So if we live a life centering on the providence, it is like a life lived for God's will, is a life which is lived correctly. In other words, whoever you are engaged with, whatever give and take you are having, the central point is God's providence. That will automatically be witnessing. Automatically, whoever you're talking to, you are actually witnessing. You don't have to have a special time to witness, because whoever meets you will get witnessed. Whoever meets you, you will connect them to the truth, and you'll connect them to the providence. So, in other words, our life is completely centering on, you know, on the providence. Another point I want to really bring out is that the mission of the Messiah. The mission of the Messiah is not carried by the Messiah alone. You know, So by carrying out your mission as tribal messiahs, you can liberate God and true parents. The nation, the world, and the cosmos are connected to you in this. Originally, you should have gone through the course of tribal messiah, national messiah, world messiah, and cosmic messiah in order to connect to God. These things have been done by true parents. So you have only your mission as a tribal messiah. So that mission of tribal messiah itself is witnessing, because you go there and you may choose to do something, maybe to support that community and what, but that's already witnessing, because people will begin to see what you're doing. Then you will explain to them what you're doing and why you are doing it. In that way, they will begin to understand, and then just be ready to offer them the truth. Be ready to invite them for the organized programs already. Be ready to invite them for a 2-day seminar. Just to tell them, well, if you want to know why I'm doing the way I'm doing, come to the seminar. They will come to the seminar, and surprising, they will come to find out that they need to not only themselves know, but they will also begin to invite their friends to come. So, inheriting true parents' heart, attaining oneness through heart, requires that we must get there to witness. When we do witnessing, when we move out to witness, this is the way to connect. This is the way to understand the true father's heart. I think in our Hundoke today, it was explaining. So sometimes we're witnessing for ourselves, but it is through going out, really. If you listen and maybe read very wonderful speeches and cross your legs and do nothing, then nothing will happen. That's why it says it cannot happen otherwise. That's why I established spiritual power plan. So we move out. Now, as we move out, we get the experiences that Heavenly Parents has gone through, and we get the experiences that True Parents has gone through. And in this way, we are connecting in heart. In this way, we are inheriting that heart. So the role and the mission of the Messiah is connected to us. We are not different. We are so connected with the Messiah. The Messiah comes, and in the past, we taught about the purpose of the Messiah. And sometimes we explain as if, the Messiah comes to establish kingdom of heaven, as if he was doing it alone. But in truth, we who connect with the Messiah must move to do it. If you look at the cause of True Parents, he actually did things. He was moving out. He was meeting people. He was working against, for example, the victory over communism and family values and all these kind of things. He wasn't sitting down and maybe just doing prayer alone. No, he was doing things. So witnessing is actually moving forward towards realizing the heavenly kingdom. And that, in that respect, we become one with the Messiah. We become one with True Parents. And that's why even you go to the Chonshimon, you are talking to the Messiah, the one who's the center for the providence, and you are explaining what you did, you are reporting what you did and how you did it and what you need. And therefore, you make a bond. You bond together, you and the Messiah, me and the Messiah. And then we begin to work together, because you'll be explaining, okay, tomorrow I want to go in such and such a place, and I want to meet so and so and so and so. You'll find out, as you have mentioned those names, those people maybe will call you even. Or when you go there, they are telling you many things, some inspirations of their own, which maybe you didn't even have yourself. Now, in other words, the spirit world will work again with you so that we can be able to actually fulfill that which we are supposed to fulfill. So the role of the Messiah is not fulfilled by the Messiah alone, but we become one with the Messiah. We become one with True Parents to fulfill the will of heaven, to establish the kingdom of heaven. That is the solution also to all the human problems. So this is what Father said. Through my life of constant prayer and meditation, from an early age, I finally encountered God and received his absolute truth. So it is through a life of constant prayer and meditation, now that has been opened up in the Church. This truth contains outstanding content, which reveals the work can solve all social problems. That's true. And if we apply it to the world, we can solve all global problems. Furthermore, we can solve deep religious problems and stalemates in philosophy. In other words, when we apply the divine principle that has been given to us, that is in our hands, we can actually solve all problems. But when we connect now the divine principle with the spirit of the true family, wow, then we have a really formidable ability. So this comes when you connect it to, like True Mother says, in spirit and in truth. This is an unprecedented new worldview, new cosmology, new view of life, new view of God's providence, a new view of history. Divine principle is an integrated thought system that embraces all religious doctrines and philosophical tenets as one whole, while preserving the unique characteristics. So in other words, when we understand well the divine principle and apply it anywhere, we become the solution that the society is looking for. We become the solution that the politicians are looking for. We become the solution that the economists are looking for, or any other professional. So we have that kind of something in our hands, and therefore let's share it. So that sharing of that divine principle is witnessing. When we share it, then the whole world can become better. The world has no solution to the current problems. And as a tribal messiah, as a true mother said, all religions must disembark and join Family Federation for World Peace. So how will they disembark? Our education makes a ladder for them to just that, to do that and to enter Family Federation. That means they are from various religions. It is through our education that now they can connect and realize that, yeah, we need to be members of Family Federation, or they need to be branches of Family Federation. So our education is what helps them. So the program we have for 1 day seminar, 7 days seminar, 2 days seminar, 3 day seminar, all this is a way, this is a ladder for them to connect, you know, so that they can come to know and attend Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Because without the divine principle, how will anybody know Heavenly Parents and True Parents? It is through the divine principle, expressed in its various formats, whether it is character, education, family values, or whatever way. But that is the beginning point, so that they can all come to connect. So in a sense, we are saying, really, the way of witnessing, the way of discussing with people on matters providential, this is what really brings us to the point, of connecting. So a true father is expressing himself and saying, throughout my life, I invested everything I had to witness to people. When a patient comes to see a doctor at the hospital, the doctor has the responsibility and obligation to invest his life for that patient, even for getting to sleep. Likewise, in raising the church members, I forgot about whether it was day or night. I often ate breakfast thinking I was eating dinner. Now, this is Father's way. So when you get that, when you understand that point, then you begin to have, you need that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of interest, that kind of things. That means you start moving like father, like son, or like father, like daughter. That means we inherit that spirit of True Father. When we look at the life of True Father and we see what he has done, and when we receive his testimony like this now, there is such a tradition in the history of our church. When you are witnessing, create an environment in which even nature desires to praise you, in which the water in the rivers wants to stop flowing to praise you, and the fish in the river want to be on your table, so you can eat them. Then the people who eat those fish will start responding to you. This is the kind of foundation you should leave behind. So go around the area of your responsibility. So whatever the area is, Father was explaining here, this time he was talking about Hope Church, and say go around that place 10 times or even 100 times. Visit every single house without exception. God goes around the world 1,000 or even 10,000 times searching for his children. So when we connect with that heart of God, when we connect with the heart of our true parents, then it will become natural. It will become natural that we will meet people, we will go and see people with a very clear desire to help them and help heaven sort out all the issues, because we have the equipment. We are like the doctors now who must heal our people. We are the doctors who must heal our village. We are the doctors of today. What a wonderful position we have been given, that we have the solution to all the problems of the world in our hands. So we cannot keep quiet. To keep quiet with such kind of a great medicine when people are dying with sickness is actually like almost criminal. So when we have such kind of incredible ability, incredible medicine to cure the people, to cure the world, we cannot sit down. We need to really move on, and really do our best. As a leader responsible for the heart and spirit of others, you need to do that. That is the way of a representative of the vertical true parent and the horizontal true parents. So continue in this way, True Father said, and your members will take the proper direction without any deviation. Find their position and follow your example. So it means we dedicate ourselves. When we bring people to the workshops and whatever, We take care of them. These are our sons and daughters. These are our children. Do our best. You know, I'm not saying that 100% nobody will ever go away after this. No, this is a fight we're involved in. So we move on. We move on, whatever the circumstance. Even if you invite people, they come there, they join, and then they still leave. Go forth. Don't you worry. Go ahead. You know, they will come back in due time. But you have done your part. You know. So how much effort have you made to save people, representing God's heart and His role as creators? This is a serious issue. I've given so many lectures and sermons. That is Father saying. In the 1950s, that is Father speaking in 1988. In the 1950s in particular, there was not a single day when I did not speak while shedding tears. There was not a single day that I did not cry out in tears. Heaven consoled me and worked with me, even as I kept my resolve to move forward, even though these times were when there was times when I collapsed on the verge of death, shedding so much blood and sweat that I was about to lose consciousness. Whenever you witness, pray for the people in your area. Yes, witness to people, those who have shown some interest, don't leave them out. Go to the Chonshimon, read their names, pray to heaven, inform to heaven, tell the true family. I met so and so and so and so and so, and we discussed this, and I would want them to connect. Pray for them every night before you go to bed. This is witnessing. If you are responsible for a district, go out to the highest mountain in the area and pray for the people there. If you cannot do so, go down to the deepest valley and pray there. Don't stop praying. Afterwards, go to the holiest place, the church sanctuary, and pray there. Do not let the church sanctuary remain dry without tears. So the Chonshimon, that is the place now, because we have got something higher than the normal sanctuaries, the Chonshimon. Don't let it be having nobody. Don't let it there to be no tears. Don't let it be without anybody. And the power of witnessing will come from there. And then automatically, things will be moving. The people you have contacted, if you have contacted 3 people, they will bring 9. If you have contacted, when they come 9, they will bring others. Last weekend, I had a very interesting example. I went out and talked to one of the pastors. I said, okay, I am having a seminar. I need to have some young people. Then he brought me 14 young people. He guided them and they came. These young people, we explained to them, but apparently there was something else that we did not understand what they were thinking about. So finally, they were disappointed. They said, no, this is not okay. They were expecting us to give them, tickets and this kind of thing. So we didn't give them. We gave them what we had to give. That's all. We did not go continue. What happened is they went out. We went away, and the next day they didn't come. They were disappointed. But what interesting happened, because when I talked to the pastor, I told him, look, you brought us maybe people, but I think their expectations was wrong. So why don't you get the boys in that area and let them to come? What happened? The next day, another group, a totally new group, just came by themselves. And they lost the way, but they struggled all the way until they came to the center. Now they are doing 7 days and preparing to go for 21 days. Those who came by themselves, after a group left, another group came who are more determined than them. So when you give your efforts, you're reporting to the Chonshimon, doing whatever you do, even if some people come and go, do not lose your spirit, because they will be replaced. The spirit world is seeing what is going on. They will be replaced. Another better group will come. So do not lose hope, even if you witness to people and they don't respond properly, because some other people are coming. So now this is what Father did. Let's look at what Father did. Witnessing without even speaking. Life in Hungnam labor camp, this is Father speaking, was itself a living hell, with poor ration, dreadful living conditions, and severe hard labor. In our normal circumstances, we are not in prison. We are not in that kind of situation. Every year, 40% of the prisoners died. True Father had to find 12 devoted disciples in such a place while struggling to stay alive. And he could neither talk nor act as he liked. In that communist prison, you cannot witness to people. If you are talking to people about God, hey, that's the first way to die. So he could not speak. The only way for him to witness to others was to practice a life of devotion that moved heaven and the spirit world. Then ancestors in the spirit world would send revelation in dreams and visions to their descendants in the prison. In this way, many people came to serve and follow True Father. That is complete witnessing in spirit only. That means you are not even allowed to speak. Yet Father could do it. And this is explained again. When Jesus was meant to walk the path of death, the people of Israel, even his 3 beloved disciples, betrayed him. That is why, according to the principle, to restore through indemnity, when I was in prison, I had to restore the number 12 through indemnity, the same number as 12 disciples that Jesus had lost. Since I was in such a position, even though I did not witness at all while I was in Hungnam prison, people in spirit world who belong to the realm of the second Israel witnessed to 12 inmates to follow me and fulfill the number. Such was the historical connection I experienced. So this is Father speaking. You know, this is his testimony. God took responsibility to secretly organize people who united in heart with me. All this was unknown to anyone else. While there, I could not witness openly. Yet, even when I stayed silent, the spiritual world witnessed to people for me. So if we do the conditions, if you are strong in the spiritual aspect, we can still get results, because the spiritual world is real. It works, and then it can witness to people. Especially now that most of us and most of you, I'm sure, have done your 430 liberation of ancestors. Those ancestors, they are eager to see people who of their own who can join. And those collaterals you did, mention them, and they will see, they will begin to do something, because they are grateful that you liberated them and they want to help you. But you must mention it. You go to the Chongshim and mention it and tell them what you want them to do. Don't just pray that you want to make results. Tell them so and so and so and so and so. I would want you to help in this, and then they will do. You'll find, interestingly, you mention some particular persons, and suddenly you have a connection from that area where they come from, and then somebody will begin to propose things. This kind of thing is happening. It's really live. So I can mention again and again. In spirit, the spirit of Chon Shimon is interesting and really powerful. It works. Join into the vigils and join into the international vigil. You'll get something amazing. You know, Father is explaining also in those early days. After arriving in Pusan in January 1951, True Father moved around for half a year, living here and there as a refugee. Father was a refugee. So what did he do? In August, he built a mud wall hut with his own hand in Pomneko, moved into it, and prepared to receive new members. He climbed the mountain every day and prayed tearfully with a yearning of God, who has continually worked to restore his lost children. As a result, members came to him in small groups, responding to revelations they received from God. That is the spiritual aspect. That is Father. So on May 10th, 1952, the day when True Father finished writing the Worldly Wombon, the original text of the Divine Principle, Kang Yong-shil, a second-year student of Kyo Theological Seminary, joined him. She was followed by others, including Reverend Lee Johan, a young man, already a Christian pastor, who joined Father on December 1. You know, so Reverend Lee just was praying, and he was told, go to such and such a place, you'll meet the Messiah. And that's how he came. The spiritual world is real. And when you're connecting in the Chon Shimon, we are making the connection of the spiritual world and physical world. And then we begin to work like that. When we begin to work in partnership with the spiritual world, great things will definitely take place, just like it was taking place with Father. Because Father would want to see us, his sons and daughters, working in the same way. And if we get into that gear, then our witnessing will not be an issue. Vision 2025 we can fulfill it. It can be done as long as we connect in that way. So Father is speaking here again, 1969. I'm not teaching you thoughtlessly when I say, with the heart of the parent, shed sweat for earth, tears for humanity, and blood for heaven. This is how I have lived. That's how Father lived. That means what? Witnessing. Try witnessing to people according to this teaching. That's what he say. Test whether what I say is true or a lie. If you do not have members, open the door and long for them. Longing for those members will make them come. When you do so, you will hear people coming. Long for people the way I do. Then ways to reach them will open up. When Kang Shil came to Pomnekol for the first time, I had the heart of a parent yearning for my lost children. That means cultivate that heart. Go to the Hyun Shimon. If you don't have it, cultivate it, and you will see what happens. So really, honestly, in spirit and in truth, that's how we're supposed to do. Witnessing is the activity of living. Sorry.
I'm just reminding you that the 15 minutes, you have 15 minutes left on your time. But sorry for disturbing your flow.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So Witnessing is the activity of leading people to leave Satan's world behind and follow the path of heaven with a smile. That means you are using your best way possible so that they can recognize and they can be able to connect. It is an activity to guide them to the heavenly kingdom. So what wonderful thing, what else could you do better when you are the one guiding people to kingdom heaven? Wow. For eternity, they will always be with you. This is the most wonderful thing. So how to do it? Simply just be there and do your best. You already are on your path to heaven. So let others join you. When you try to witness to others, I see you telling them, come, regardless of whether they want or not. Make sure they want. You should not do that. People are spiritual beings. So as an experiment, try praying for a certain person. Try loving that person sincerely, shedding tears with an anguished heart to bring that person before the will. Then study what happens. The issue is how you can truly advance to the position where you can love that person more than his or her parents do. It is a battle. The issue is whether you can win over that person by demonstrating a heart greater than that of his or her mother and father. This person will just definitely join. So that's what Father is explaining to us now here. This is directly Father speaking. Now it's explaining about our situation. Abel is a plus position, whereas Cain is a minus position. In relation to Satan's world, you are in the position of plus or Abel. Witnessing is to bring the plus of Satan's world to obey so that it can become the minus of heaven's world. Thus, witnessing is the act of creation. We are creating because you meet somebody is in kind of a funny shape or different kind of shape, maybe destroyed or in a very messy way. And then you begin to recreate him or her in such a way that they will become now a wonderful person. So you can enjoy the work of recreating as you see people change. The first time they came for the workshop, and then you see them later on when they are coming out of the 21-day workshop. You look at them and you can even, you'll be happy about it. So that's the activity of witnessing. You have people, when you look at them in the beginning, you say, wow, this one is, there's no chance. But when they go through all the seminars, they begin to transform. Even they begin to look more handsome and more beautiful. Some of them come with a lot of beards on their face. But by the time they are leaving, they are shaved clean. They become nice guys. So this is love for that person rather than thinking about the difficulties and hardships of witnessing. Thinking that you exist for others, if you care for others, you will become their subject partner. You can recreate others by investing in yourself. When their recreation is completed, you become their subject partner and they will all happily bow their heads before you. Yeah, so that's it. That's witnessing. It is a very noble kind of a thing to do. It's the best mission to have, actually. You say that you go out witnessing, but what is witnessing? It is showing the way. You are showing the way for the world to return to God. How wonderful this work is. If you ask a person's original mind, where are you going? It would reply, oh, after passing through this world, I shall return to heaven and kingdom. You are pioneering the way for people to do just that. How marvelous this task is. That is Father speaking. It is a wonderful thing to do. So let's enjoy the witnessing. So Adam was unable to reach perfection. So that's why the Messiah comes. He comes to go through. But now the second coming of Adam and the third coming, that means the true parents, has another situation whereby we are not beginning in the beginning because there are so many other persons who already have lived wrongly. So once the true parents establish that foundation, the next responsibility is how to bring all other people into the family of true parents. And that is what? Witnessing. How to reconnect all those sons and daughters of Adam who we are not able to connect with the true parents. That is the work of witnessing. So we are witnessing to connect people to true parents, to heavenly parents. We are witnessing to create the kingdom of heaven. It's a work of actually sorting out all the problems of the world. So this is a work we can do anywhere, anytime, as we talk to people. As long as you have a mouth, as long as you can speak, you can witness. You have been a member. So in many ways, you're ahead of everyone. So now use your abilities now to bring them closer and closer. It says here, you are to become as visible, substantial embodiments of God's word of love. God's innermost heart has to become your innermost heart. In other words, you need to become the embodiment of the original heart of God. All of you need to carry out the mission of the second creator who can disseminate the word of God. That is to say, you must become propagators of the word, propagators of life, propagators of the substance of God. In this way, you will become one with God, centering on love. That means really educate yourself, learn how to explain the principle. If it is difficult for you in the first time, read again and again and again, and it begins to make sense to you. Then you can explain it in whichever language that you know the person is. You can explain it. So this is about disseminating the word. That means giving the word to others. This is important part, that the education aspect of it is also important. Oh, better and better the more you try to do it. I mean, there are many cases when we even had to work and train ourselves by lecturing to the spirit world, just yourself, maybe somewhere at midnight or some before that time. You are lecturing and you're praying. Heavenly parents, I do not know how to explain these things properly. And as you are lecturing to spirit world, by and by, you begin to get more and more inspiration how to do it. And finally, then you can do it much better. So in the spirit of true parents, like father, like son, like mother, like daughter, learn from the true parents and borrow their spirit in the Chonshimon. In the Chonshimon, you can borrow the spirit of true parents and begin to give that one. Take the challenge. It's a challenge. It is a human portion of responsibility. So venture according to the truth and your foundation. And depending on your foundation, some of you may be Chombo couples, some of you may be just HTMs, others maybe have just come. Now, depending on your situation, just venture, move forward, try, make a step, take a step. And then if you are finding it difficult because maybe you are completely new, get some elder one to help you. Go to the witnessing and the education department, let them help you to do it. Or maybe the BFD, follow up to, and then after you have connected with people, follow up so that you have proper results towards Vision 2025, not just a temporary report. No, find a way. One of the biggest issues that we have there is sometimes we did a lot of work, but we didn't follow up. So the follow-up is still in the process of witnessing. Don't think witnessing ends up when somebody has done all the workshops. No, you must continue to guide them. You must continue to help them to move forward, because the target is that all of them will become Chombo couples and begin to multiply, begin to have spiritual children. So your spiritual children, guide them also to have spiritual children. And when they have their own spiritual children, then after you have the results.
It looks like we've lost the Reverend Kililo. Maybe something is wrong with his connection from his point. While waiting for him to rejoin us, I think we will move over to the next item from Pastor Richard from Ivory Coast to give us a witnessing experience. Let's welcome him with a round of applause. Pastor Richard from Ivory Coast.
Ok, voilà, je suis là maintenant. Vous m'entendez, s'il vous plaît? On m'entend?
Oui, on vous reçoit.
Merci beaucoup. Je voudrais saluer notre président international, saluer tous les responsables de la sainte communauté qui sont à l'écoute ce soir. Et je suis donc le pasteur Richard Baou de la Côte d'Ivoire. Je suis dans le sud-ouest de la Côte d'Ivoire, dans une ville qu'on appelle Issia, à pratiquement 379 km d'Abidjan, qui est la capitale. Bien. Alors, c'est pour moi une immense joie de pouvoir participer à cette rencontre. Je suis vraiment désolé que mon épouse ne soit pas auprès de moi parce que je suis encore au service et elle est à la maison. C'est pourquoi on ne la voit pas présente aux côtés de moi. Alors, je ne suis pas venu à l'église de l'unification de moi-même. Je ne suis pas venu à la sainte communauté de moi-même. J'ai été témoigné par une sœur qui est arrivée des États-Unis en 1990. Donc, le parent céleste et les vrais parents, à la recherche de l'enfant que je suis, ont envoyé depuis les États-Unis une missionnaire ici en Côte d'Ivoire qui est venue me trouver dans un quartier qu'on appelle Port-Boué, notamment à la cité universitaire 1 de Port-Boué. Donc, vous voyez les efforts que le parent céleste a parcourus pour pouvoir m'apporter le salut, pour pouvoir faire de moi aujourd'hui une famille bénie centrale, pour pouvoir faire de moi aujourd'hui un couple tombeau en devenir. Donc, c'est dire que le témoignage est quelque chose de fondamental pour nous. C'est vraiment très important de pouvoir témoigner. Alors, quelle expérience mon épouse et moi avons dans la cité où nous vivons, à Issia? D'abord, notre approche est celle-ci. En tant que pasteur, une fédération au sein de laquelle les pasteurs partent des expériences, dans laquelle les pasteurs échangent. Et ensuite, on a intégré également le Forum des confessions religieuses de la ville d'Issia, qui est une grande plateforme au sein de laquelle également et les musulmans, en fait, toutes les religions se retrouvent. Et nous avons l'opportunité à ces occasions-là de pouvoir partager le message de nos bien-aimés vrais parents. Et très souvent, je rends visite aux pasteurs dans leur église. Je vais écouter le message qu'ils donnent pour que ce message-là, je puisse, à partir de ce message-là, leur apporter ma contribution, la contribution donc de la sainte communauté ici à Issia, de sorte qu'il arrive des moments où des pasteurs nous invitent, même les dimanches, à aller donner des messages en leur lieu et place. Et naturellement, nous ne pouvons que témoigner des paroles de nos bien-aimés vrais parents, proclamer les vrais parents, parler de la vraie mère. Ici, à Issia, lorsqu'on me voit, je suis l'enfant du révérend Moum. Voilà comment est-ce qu'on m'appelle généralement à Issia. Et donc, nous collaborons avec surtout les églises locales, notamment l'église Aris, l'église du Christianisme céleste, et également avec une église qui a une envergure internationale, l'église des saints des derniers jours. Nous partons de leurs propres enseignements pour pouvoir leur montrer les insuffisances qui sont dans leur enseignement, pour leur montrer ce qu'on peut apporter comme complément pour qu'ensemble, nous puissions mener la providence dans la ville où nous sommes. Chers frères, chères sœurs, le témoignage, lorsqu'il est fait avec le cœur, avec un cœur de parent, il permet donc d'ouvrir également les cœurs de ceux avec qui nous échangeons. Parce que c'est une question de communication au niveau des cœurs.
Please unmute yourself so that you can be audible. Pastor Richard.
Oui. OK, d'accord. Merci. Merci, merci. Alors, donc, ce prophète-là est venu très tôt à la maison. Il a dit qu'il a fait donc 2 rêves. Et dans le second rêve, lorsque j'ai fini d'échanger avec lui, une personne grande, de tout blanc, tout de blanc vêtu, lui a dit, suis le chemin que le pasteur t'enseigne. Et juste après cela, il s'est agenouillé devant moi pour que je prie pour lui. Et ce matin-là, lorsqu'il est arrivé à la maison, il a joint l'acte à la parole et s'est agenouillé devant moi pour que je puisse prier pour lui. Je lui ai dit non, je ne pourrais pas le faire. Il a tellement insisté. J'ai dit, bon, je vais prier pour que tu suives la voie que le parent céleste monte. Et juste après ça, il a pris un jeûne de 40 heures pour véritablement chercher à comprendre tous ses rêves et la voie sur laquelle il est. Je voulais dire que, avant de terminer, je voulais dire que nous réussissons dans le témoignage avec les pasteurs parce que nous les visitons, parce que nous apprenons à les écouter, parce que non seulement nous leur ouvrons la porte de notre cœur, mais également nous leur ouvrons la porte de notre maison. Notre maison ici à Issia, elle est ouverte 24 heures sur 24 et à n'importe quel moment qu'on nous sollicite, nous sommes aux côtés des gens. L'autre chose que je voulais souligner pour terminer, c'est que au niveau de la radio, la Voix du Rocher, qui est une radio locale, nous avons des temps d'antenne, notamment les dimanches de 5h à 6h, où nous donnons des messages de manière alternée avec d'autres pasteurs, et également les samedis matins, pratiquement tous les samedis matins, de 6h à 8h, nous faisons la promotion des vraies valeurs familiales et de l'enseignement que nos vrais parents nous donnent. Voilà un peu les expériences que nous avons ici à Issia. Et dernièrement, nous avons envoyé des pasteurs à un séminaire de 7 jours. Ils ont pris la bénédiction et d'autres, il n'y a pas longtemps, ils ont commencé leur vie de famille et sont prêts à travailler avec nous. Merci infiniment pour l'écoute.
Thank you very much, Pastor Richard Gabo. Thank you for your witnessing report and experiences. I see Reverend Kilido is back in our midst. We will give him 5 minutes to conclude his lecture, and then from there we will go to the question and answer session. Let us welcome him once again with a round of applause to continue with the wonderful ways that he was given to us. Reverend Gililo, you have the floor.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, Reverend, we can hear you now.
I don't know at which slide I went off, because after you told me, I continued for a while. I don't know, what was I talking about when it went off? If you can remind me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you were on the topic, disseminate and practice the word. Practice and follow up, things like that. That's where you were.
Okay. Then I was almost done, but let me just go back to the last part, which is one slide. There's one slide that I didn't do. I think that's one I will do now. If I can be allowed to share, please.
The sharing is active.
The sharing is active?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where I am now. And I was concluding by saying we need to move in the spirit of true parents, like that is like father like son, or like mother like daughter. That means copying from what true parents have been doing. We learn from there and then borrow their spirit in the Chonshimwon, because they are always there in the Chonshimwon. We can borrow their spirit and then move out to take the challenge, take the challenge. We take the challenge. It is a human portion of responsibility. It will not happen on its own. We need to venture according to the truth that we know, and also foundation. Each person may have a different foundation, but we all can do something. We all can start somewhere. There is no one who doesn't have a foundation to witness. So we can do according to our own understanding and our own foundation. And then also it's important to follow up for our results. When we have connected with people, witness to them, they are interested in the principle, put them names down. So we are not just keen about making temporary results, but we must make real results. That means we are moving towards Vision 2025, where we are saying 1/3 of the world to know and attend heavenly parents and true parents. And therefore, all our contacts are important, and we make a follow-up. After somebody has had 7-day workshop, 21-day workshop, we keep them in our record. We don't throw them away. Even if they don't come for a while, we continue to pray. And then one of these days, you'll be surprised. He'll appear there with others even, so that you know, give you even the greater and greater surprises. We ourselves are messiahs. The Bible says, we do not know Christ clearly, but when he comes back, we shall be like him. And indeed, we were given the title of tribal messiahs. And we always say, as owners of Chonilguk, so we are owners. We are the owners. So we should use all our abilities to construct heaven. It's a fight. The other satanic world has been there, but it's a fight. It's a love fight. We want to love the people more and give them the truth, and we're using the Holy Spirits, and then we can be able to move forward. So it will happen only if we move. That means only when we make our move will things happen. Will happen to us, and will we be able to move the providence forward. So that's what I want to share now, and I want to say thank you very much for giving me your kind attention, and so much so for the part that we did not do when my internet went off. I'm sorry about my poor internet today. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Kililo. Let us give him a round of applause for a wonderful, wonderful practical way of how we can go about our witnessing using the Chongqing prayer halls, liberating our heavenly parent and true parents through our works as heavenly tribal messiahs. It is such inspiring words that we have so much to take in from what the Reverend Kililo has said. We will now move over to the question and answer session, where we will allow for 4 questions to be asked to Reverend Kililo, after which, if there are more questions, we will note them down and send them to him, so that he can answer those questions to you off site. But for now, we will allow for 4 questions to be asked to Reverend Kililo on the message that he has given to us. And you can just raise your hands so that you can be noted. Anyone who's got a question for Reverend Kililo on the thing, you can use the emojis or you can raise your hands and you will be noted, and you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Any questions? Mr. Jacques, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much. Ce n'est pas une question, c'est une suggestion. Comme j'ai vu qu'il n'y a pas de mains qui se lèvent pour la question, j'ai fait une suggestion. Merci d'abord pour le révérend Kililo pour cette présentation qui nous a nourris abondamment. Et je voudrais que pendant cette période où nous sommes dans une période de mobilisation forte, en répondant à l'appel de notre vraie mère, que cette séance puisse être de manière régulière, de façon qu'on puisse échanger l'expérience qu'on a pu avoir dans différentes nations, et ça peut aider les uns les autres pour avoir les résultats pendant ce temps. Voilà ma suggestion qui est de l'être simplement. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you for your suggestion. I don't know if Reverend Kililo has got anything to say to that.
Well, I think I would agree with him. I would agree that we have to have more, we can share more. I think this could be organized, but BFD basically is the one which is organizing this session, because BFD is responsible for encouraging the members to stay alive spiritually. Witnessing is encouraging people to go out for witnessing. So the witnessing team is basically outreaching in all the nations, centering on the executives of the nation and centering on the executives in the sub-region. So I think it's a very good suggestion. I would like to take it forward. Maybe if Reverend Bugre wants to say something about it, he may say something. Otherwise, that's my response.
Reverend Beckley, do you have anything to add?
No, I think it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay. I've noted Serge and Callisto for the next questions. Mr. Serge, you can go ahead, and Mr. Moshati will follow after Mr. Gweli has asked this question. And Reverend Kililo will answer after the 2 questions have been asked. Thank you.
Alors, merci, cher leader. Et je remercie sincèrement Révérend Kililo pour cette belle présentation. Et je voudrais suggérer que le PowerPoint que nous avons suivi en ce moment, on peut l'avoir en anglais, français, et qu'on peut envoyer aux leaders nationaux pour que ça fasse l'objet d'un sermon. Ça va beaucoup aider. Merci beaucoup.
Mr. Moshati, are you still here?
Yes, good evening. Thank you. The same has been asked already, so thank you so much. Hopefully, we can also have the sharing of today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that suggestion. I would like to explain to you that already that presentation has been given to BFD. I think Reverend Bogri has a copy already, and I will not mind if you share that presentation to every nation, whoever it can benefit. So let it be. Thank you very much.
Okay, and the last question will go to Mr. Emmanuel. I saw him raising his hand. Mr. Emmanuel, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Okay, mine is not a question. Sorry, good evening, the BFD director and our able education director, Reverend Kililo. I'm of the opinion of, this a presentation being shared to leaders, different nations, and especially the BFD directors and other departmental leaders. If we have this, just like, every time two parents have proclamations made, like the In Search of the Origin of the Universe, all these compilation, if we have it, just like what our referent educational director had just given, if we have it in different, leadership position being given, we can now disseminate to other members. Because at this particular time, we know that the power of witnessing is going on, both spiritually and physically. If we key in, I think result will be so cumbersome. So this is what I just have as an opinion to give. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think that was not a question. It was rather like agreeing with what we've been doing. Yeah. And I'm with you. I agree that as much as possible, we should have had maybe all the national leaders present. But as we know, some of them are not there. So it is important that they will be there. The other leaders too will be there so that we share together. We are one family. And the fighting we have against satanic world is the same fight. We are members of the same army. So we should arm each other as much as possible. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Kidilo. Let us give him again a last round of applause for the wonderful internal guidance that he has given us here today to all Central Blessed families. Thank you so much. We will now move to closing remarks and announcements. On behalf of Reverend Kadima, closing remarks will be given by Reverend Bekhri, and he will also do the announcements as part of his closing remarks. Thank you. Let us welcome him with a round of applause as well.
Okay, thank you, Maïloula. Merci beaucoup. Merci encore, Révérend Kililo, pour sa brillante présentation. Je voudrais aussi voir dans quelle mesure peut-être il peut faire aussi des suggestions par rapport aux flyers. Parce que parfois aussi, les familles ont besoin de quelque chose en main. Si peut-être il a des exemples, des modèles de flyers qu'il peut suggérer, comme ça, chacun peut adapter à sa nation, voilà, pour témoigner. Parce que quand tu as un petit document en main, comme beaucoup de chrétiens, très souvent, parfois aussi le flyer dans la main de quelqu'un, ça peut lui rappeler et puis ça peut attirer son attention. Donc, c'était juste cette petite suggestion que je voulais faire dans le cas où on peut avoir un modèle de flyer pour témoigner. Aussi, concernant les annonces, comme vous devez le savoir, le président régional est en ce moment en Angola. Il faut prier pour le succès de sa mission là-bas. Deuxième annonce, vous savez que nous avons des difficultés à joindre actuellement le Sénégal parce qu'il y a une situation politique qui prévaut là-bas. Donc, je vous invite vraiment, comme nous prions pour le Niger dans notre liste, voilà, n'oublions pas de mentionner aussi le Sénégal. Prions pour le Sénégal pour que les choses puissent aller pour le mieux là-bas. N'oubliez pas aussi de prier pour nos 2 représentants au niveau de la bénédiction des missionnaires. Ça sera pour le 15 février prochain à 10h heure de Corée. Il faut prier pour eux pour que les choses se passent bien. Le mardi prochain, on aura, comme tous les mardis, un séminaire de tous les candidats à la bénédiction. Première génération, seconde génération, comme couple précédemment marié. Et donc, le thème la semaine prochaine qui sera développé, c'est qui peut être candidat à la bénédiction et quelles sont les conditions pour être candidat à la bénédiction. Donc, le mardi prochain, c'est ce thème qui va être développé. Veuillez inviter massivement vos candidats à être présents sur la ligne. C'est juste 1 heure de temps. Et puis, le jeudi qui va suivre, nous allons encore une fois de plus vous inviter en tant que famille bénie centrale. Cette fois-ci, nous allons développer le thème tradition et famille bénie. Quelle est la place de la tradition au sein d'une famille bénie centrale? C'est ce que nous allons développer le jeudi prochain. Merci beaucoup. Que Dieu et les vrais parents vous soutiennent et vous bénissent. Merci.
Thank you so much, Reverend, for the announcements. And thank you, everybody, for your attendance and being here with us this evening. We are now at the end of our program, of which we would close with a prayer. We will ask Kalisto Mushati to close for us with a benediction, and after which we will greet the true parents and take the picture. Mr. Mushati, please.
Good evening to our regional BFD director, also regional director of witnessing and education. Dear blessed families, brothers and sisters, let us offer this meeting to heaven. Good evening, our dear loving beloved parents. We have just concluded parents, how to be able to in our field as a heavenly promise to really to restore your children in our nation. We are very grateful to parents for two parents who and who have successfully concluded to liberate our heavenly parent. We are very grateful for please we have come to success. Father, what we can do, we can do parent. Christ our witnessing, that is we are close for the blessing and we offer everything and report that's in our family. It's on the go.
Thank you, Mr. Mushati, for the closing prayer. Let us close by giving our heavenly parent and true parents a half bow again before we go on to the greetings. Chonjung in Champamunioge, Kumbe, Paro. Thank you so much, everyone, for your attendance today. We are now preparing to take pictures. Let us open up our videos, smile, and give our hearts so that the technical team can do the picture for our activity today. Okay, we will move to the small heart. And then our technical team will do the picture. Thank you all for attending today.